Hey everyone, this is Matt the Farmer. Hope you're all doing well. Today's goal is simple. We're starting with these logs. They're nice and tall. Can you see them? We're going to use a log splitter to get the wood. Today I'll show you two techniques that are used to split wood to get firewood. Of course, you choose the one that works best for you. One thing I keep noticing in the comments is that many of you don't realize it, but you're not subscribed to the channel. For the past 13 years, I've been telling you about every aspect of agriculture, the activities I do in the field, and I've never asked you for anything. That's because I believe in sharing knowledge. To support these videos as well, I'm asking you to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and give it a like. It doesn't cost you anything, but for me, it's really vital. When we go to cut wood, right at the moment of cutting, we can cut the wood in two ways. We can either cut nice long logs like in this case, or follow me like in this case, so logs of a fairly good length, or follow me again. We can already start slicing our log to the height of the piece we will need later. When putting it in the fire, there are two different methods. One keeps the logs long, splits them while they're long, and then slices them when they're short. The other method is to cut the logs short first and then, with the log splitter, portion them out. There isn't a right or wrong way. I'll tell you what I personally prefer. I always keep the logs fairly long. They're much easier to load. And above all, I never know when I'll be cutting wood, so I prefer to go, cut my trees, do my pruning, load them onto a cart and transport them to the farm. Here we are at Mauro's place, and when we have some free time, we start portioning and cutting them to make firewood. In all this, I still prefer to split the log into several long pieces and then portion it. Why is that? Because when I already have the log cut lengthwise, I just need to come even when it's dry, cut it in half, and I already have the right width. So I do this with a saw, and I already store it properly in the woodshed. It's a bit more convenient for me. Depending on how you split the wood, how you choose to process the wood, you need two completely different wood splitters. Today we're going to use a wood splitter made for long logs that will then be cut into pieces. Of course, if you want a video about another type of wood splitter, the one for logs that are already cut and just need to be split, let me know in the comments below. Let's try to make a dedicated one. Today we're going to use this wood splitter from Bullmac. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but the pronunciation isn't really important. Because this model, the BMLS Pito 22V, is a really high performance model. In fact, it works with up to 22 tons of force, which is really a lot. We're going to put it to the test with these logs, so let's see it right away. It has a series of really interesting features, including the lift. This is because when splitting much longer logs, the weight naturally increases, so we need to work safely but with little effort. I would say, let's start loading the logs. Let's start working already. And in the meantime, I'll give you a series of features. I'll show you how I manage the work, what I do. I cut it more or less in half without going all the way through. It's not necessary. You'll see it opens up, then I portion it as needed. As you can see, we have all the supports to keep it from falling, so we work safely without any problems. Double grip to use it, so we'll always use both hands. This is a matter of safety. As you saw, there are knots with wood this hard. The wood is always right. But it's never just a matter of strength, it's also a matter of intelligence. How do we split it? So, in this case, two people help each other. You move it, like in this case. We're making smaller pieces to set aside, which we'll slice again later. First, we'll take care of the bigger one. There's no point beating around the bush. The machine works like a charm, but if there are knots, there are knots. I'll show you something else too. As you can see, I'm always back here. because it's always better to work safely. On certain things, this barrier might seem uncomfortable, and it is, but if the log falls from here, it will save you. Feet and legs always safe. Instead, ask for a hand, do the work together, and then once it's cut, you move away. Smooth? Let's give some characteristics. Now, the vertical split on the ground is done on stumps up to 110 centimeters in height. The wedge plate fits perfectly to the vertical beam through nylon sliding guides, which can be adjusted and replaced in case of wear. This is very important, especially in the following years. It's a machine that will last us for several years. This will prevent internal wear, even after years of use. The wedge plate and the beam can become misaligned during the splitting process between the two elements. The presence of the cart with the additional inclined wheels is important. This helps us during storage, avoiding unnecessary effort. It is equipped with a side log lifter that allows you to bring logs, even very long and heavy ones, into a vertical position and ready for splitting. The large hydraulic circuit tank is very important as it allows the hydraulic oil to cool quickly even during continuous and intensive work sessions, always ensuring top performance. A key feature is the adjustable piston stroke, so it doesn't have to go the full distance each time. I haven't used this setting but wanted you to know it's available. I extended it intentionally but am not using it now. Thank you all. It's less effort now I'm using it. Now you see I've already separated it for myself. What I'm going to do now is set them aside, then I'll go ahead and cut them. And it's already the right log to put in the woodshed. There are two different ways to prepare firewood. Let's finish our work, let's set everything aside, then we'll continue with the slightly smaller logs. This job is quite simple to do even in the field. You go and cut your logs to about 1 meter and 10 centimeters. We said it works well. Once they're cut, we go ahead and put them underneath, we split them and we load them. Pretty excellent, because the weight still becomes manageable on the cart. Once we arrive at the woodshed with the cart behind, we use a bandsaw, a chainsaw, to cut them into 3 parts, and we already put them in the woodshed. Simple, or use the classic method. Let's continue. No need to go all the way through. I prefer this way because it's less work to split later. Each of you can do it however you want. The log is big and heavy, but you can help each other. Automatic loading, we put it in position so that we can work safely. And we work. Then it's nice to always have beautiful logs without knots. The reality is when they're all like this and you have to cut firewood, see these colors, the intricate wood with knots, and still look at this display. We figure out the size we want to reach, and that's it. Now I've done this with the bigger logs. I also have much smaller logs, so maybe the loader is only needed for the slightly bigger logs. We have it. Let's use it. See the effect, this one. Now we're going to cut it up. It's ready firewood, but I can move it. You see, I don't always have big logs. Actually, they're all about this diameter, but even with a similar diameter, it's convenient. You have all the power you need. You don't even have to go all the way through. If it's too big, we just split it in two again. No problem at all. You should hold it. No, let's hold it tight. Thank you, everyone. Now, let's go see the effect. How do you see? This method allows you to work on logs like these, which later need to be cut into 2 or 3 parts and stored in the woodshed. It's a pretty convenient method. I want to show you 2 or 3 things. Now we've pulled it to the reversible side. Watch me or you won't understand. These here, this one is all cedar. It's really big. I mean, it's truly, well, an important wood. When we go to cut, though, with pieces like this, we always have to check for knots. So in this case, the trunk should be reduced at least by half, so from here to here. Because if we try to split it, it won't work, but it's not a matter of power. It's not that our log splitter isn't strong enough. It's just that knots are knots. It's wood, so they're really interesting. Let's eat now and finish this afternoon. The other logs, as you've seen, it's efficient. I mean, today we'll go cut them and get them split in half, and we'll already store them. This, in my opinion, is an interesting way to make firewood. There are various ways, but what I particularly like is a really powerful log splitter. I spoke with a friend who makes firewood. When the tools arrive, several friends, including Mauro, usually stop by to check them out. This matters because I hear other opinions. He told me 22 tons, and I told him, look, it's written here. I'll put it into action. Let's see, 22 tons, it does it. I mean, it really works well. I particularly like it for how I managed to find it, both with the electric motor option, with the detached motor option, and with the power takeoff option. I prefer it with the power takeoff because the tractor is very convenient for moving. In the case of these stumps, the stump lifter isn't so convenient because they're very large. It's faster for me to move the tractor myself to where I need to go. And also it's interesting because it's a job I can do directly in the field. Just imagine now. In this case, it went differently. But we already cut our tree. We already cut the logs to length. Why am I interested? I have the cart nearby, so I put them here. I could have just split them and put them in the cart. I arrive after storing them. I go and place the cart here and here. I go and make my whole pile of logs properly. Right. This is made, however, for fairly intensive professional use. There are also log splitters for, let's say, a bit more amateur use, or even log splitters for industrial use, so with even higher performance. One last thing, I already told you before. We have a large hydraulic oil tank. It doesn't heat up. It's true that today it's a bit chilly, but I've worked continuously without any problems. Same here. Then you can decide whether to use higher engine speeds, so to be a bit faster or slower, although I repeat, I prefer to go a bit slower. But if you look at the pace, it was still steady without having to push the tractor to the limit. So we also have an economic saving. Anyway, having said that, I hope I gave you an idea, a general overview. These videos are definitely useful for me to do some work, to test the equipment, to give you the chance to see these tools in use in different conditions, and above all, to give you the opportunity to compare notes with us. In the comments below, you'll find the important info from the description. I'll include the model and a few other splitters I think could work for different categories. I'm very happy. I'd say let's take a quick lunch break, then this afternoon we'll finish the job, we'll cut and store everything, and the work will be done. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Bye!